Hello, we are about 1 week away from Camp NaNoWriMo, and I thought, well, what do you do to prepare? What do you take with you? I mean, we're going to virtual camp, right? This is actually going to be the first year that I have put myself in a cabin that I know we'll stay in. I've tried cabins before, and I ended up in cabins with people that were either a lot younger than me, and all they wanted to talk about was role-playing video games or video games in general, or things like that. And I haven't played a video game since the early 90s, maybe, or somewhere around there. My son is 26, and I think the last time I played a video game, he was in elementary school, and it was on Nintendo or Super Nintendo, and it was X-Men. Unless, of course, you count, like, when I do happen to run into somewhere where it has Galaga or Pac-Man, the Atari games that I grew up with, because I can play those. So, let's go to what you actually need for Camp NaNoWriMo and how Camp NaNoWriMo is different than regular NaNoWriMo. Okay, so Camp NaNoWriMo is more laid back. It's fun. NaNoWriMo was originally started in 1999. Chris Beatty wanted to write a novel, him and several of his friends. I think there were like a total of 21 or 20-something participants that first year. And they've gone on, and it's gotten bigger and better, and more people have joined, and they ended up with Camp NaNoWriMo. Well, Camp NaNoWriMo, like I said, is more laid back. Camp NaNoWriMo doesn't have the 50,000 word count. You get to choose your own word count. Camp NaNoWriMo also allows you to pick and choose what you want to do, whether you're editing the novel that you worked on in November, or a new novel, or an old novel, one that you had in a dust drawer somewhere, or a script, or a poetry anthology, whatever it is you want to do, and you get to choose your own word count. Like I said, it's a virtual camp, and you get to choose what cabin you're in with either like-minded or an age group or the same genre, or you get to make your own cabin, or you get to not stay in a cabin at all and you can stay in a tent virtually, or you can just do whatever, your own solitary cabin if you like. What you need for Camp NaNoWriMo, I have found over the last few years what works for me. Maybe some of this will help you. The first thing you're going to need is something to back up your novel. You either need a thumb drive, an external hard drive, Dropbox, Google Docs, something. I have a thumb drive. I save my novel to my thumb drive at least once or twice a week. I also save my work every single time I am in it, and I close out of it because I use Scrivener, and I save it to Dropbox. Dropbox is synced on my laptop as well as my desktop when I do that. You might also want to think about purchasing Scrivener or trying it for the 30-day trial. They usually extend it a little when it's NaNoWriMo related. I used my winter discount thing to purchase it a few years ago, and I absolutely love it. Scrivener rocks. Now, if you're not a Scrivener fan or you're not sure about it, you can use Word. You can type whatever you want. You could use Works if you wanted to, whatever works for you. You could use pen and paper. I know people who have written it and with pen and paper. Pen and paper is something that you definitely might want to invest in, though, if you're doing Camp NaNoWriMo, in case you want to jot down ideas. I have my regular travels notebook, which has my NaNoWriMo book, notebook, insert, whatever you want to call it. It has my NaNoWriMo tracker in it. I printed that from My Life All in One Place, which is, I think, somebody in Romney, from Romney's Realm, and it has the word count stuff, and I will be writing my word count down on it, along with on my expo board that's on the back of my door. I also have my Writer's Bible, which I have shown in several other videos, but this actually has notebooks in it that have to do with the actual novel. Okay, so what I'm writing right now is what I'm going to be writing for camp is done in here, and I have my general ideas, all the stuff that I just write, whether it's character or plot or ideas or character names, all of that goes into this bigger notebook. And this notebook itself is for character. Backstory. It has anything and everything that has to do with the characters or the setting or whatever. It's the backstory part. And then this one is my actual character arc notebook stuff. I have characters listed, what's going on with each character, how they're, and then this one is my outline. I got my typewriter stamp in. I was trying it out. So this is outline stuff. As you can see, I have several different things listed. I have this, and I also have this that I started earlier today. So that's what that's for. Now this is actually the whatever current novel I'm working on. This is what this is for. And as I finish up the books, as they get full, I'll put new books in. When I'm done with that novel, completely done, editing and everything, then the notebooks will get stored and bound together. I'll have them labeled with that novel's title and the date that I finished it. And maybe they'll have query letters or whatever. It'll be in there. Everything will be there and it'll be bound. And then I'll have new inserts, new notebooks to go in here. And this is my writer's Bible for the actual book. I have a binder, and I did a video about, I called it my writer's Bible then, but it's actually a binder. And I have research information. I have anything that I have printed out that has to do with plot or outlining or character arcs or character templates, anything that I think that is relevant to writing in general, writing a novel in general, I print out and I put in there. And then this is, like I said, this one is for Nano. This is my regular journaling insert. I write, draw, talk about my day. If I write an idea, it probably comes back to me. Like I have my favorite shows, ones that we're watching, and I have a list. Like it has Chuck, what we've been watching on Netflix, The Blacklist, Hawaii Five-0, Arrow, Flash, Supernatural, NCIS, Person of Interest, Criminal Minds, The Originals, Vampire Diaries, The Messengers. That is a new show that's going to come on that I want to watch. So, and then I have this. I have an actual calendar insert, but it has my project stuff, what I am, like blogs, blog post, tweet chat, anything that is a topic that I am going to have social media in regard to. And then the next notebook is about bullet journaling ideas, my to-do list, that kind of thing. And as I do them or whatever, I cross them off my list. So I have notes like about certain things that I might want to cover in a blog post or a vlog. One of the things that you might want to consider if you're going to do Camp NaNoWriMo and you're going to vlog is to keep up with your topics for that. Another thing you might want to think about for Camp NaNoWriMo is comfortable clothes. Now some people like wear the same sweats or have the same, like they have a special pair of socks or they have a special hat. For me, it's just about comfortable clothes, whether it's my pajamas or sweatpants or whatever. And I tend to, on the days when I'm feeling kind of blah, I really don't want to write, I'll throw on my Camp NaNoWriMo or my NaNoWriMo t-shirt. Puts me in the mood to write. It gives me that special, magical kind of feeling as far as being a writer goes, and it inspires me to write. Another thing you might want to think about are snacks. And you want to try to kind of stay more on the healthy. I know that a lot of people reward themselves with candy and stuff like that, which is okay, as long as you're not overdoing it, overindulging. I tend to drink a whole lot of coffee in general, but especially when I'm doing NaNoWriMo, when I'm writing in general. So I try to compensate for that with drinking a lot of water or a lot of juice or whatever, because I consume a great deal of caffeine when I am participating in any type of NaNoWriMo. Now, if coffee or hot tea or sweet tea or Dr. Pepper or Coke or Diet Coke or whatever is your thing, by all means, please make sure you have enough of it for camp so that you don't spend extra time when you go to sit down with your laptop or your computer and you don't have coffee or you don't have soda or you don't have water or you don't have whatever it is, hot tea, that is what you need. Make sure you have some extra on hand. Snacks, regular food, you might want to invest in a crock pot or whatever. If you're taking, if you're taking it to the level, I have a crock pot. When I'm participating in any type of NaNoWriMo, I tend to fix easy meals, one pot meals, crock pot meals, really easy stuff like a salad and maybe some broiled or roasted or whatever chicken, something that doesn't take a long time to cook. You might want pen and paper, a notebook. I have several, some office supplies, post-its, highlighters, extra pens, pencils, whatever your thing is for office supplies. You might want to have some of those on hand. Like I said, you're going to need the thumb drive or the hard drive, external hard drive. You might want to think about getting Scrivener or trying Scrivener's trial out. I love Scrivener. It rocks. I talked about that before. You can use Word or Works or whatever works for you, though, if that's not your thing. You might want to have a travel mug. If you get distracted when you're writing and you get in that zone, my coffee gets cold and I either have to heat it up in the microwave or I have to fix a fresh cup. And instead of doing that now, I know when I'm going to be sitting on my computer and I'm going to get distracted, I go ahead and put my coffee in a travel mug. It stays warmer longer. You might want to participate in get the Write or Die software thing. A lot of people use it. It sets off an alarm if you're not writing after so many seconds or whatever. I don't use it when I'm writing. If I don't want to be distracted, I cut off all noisemakers and I shut down all my windows or tabs or whatever except for Scrivener. My phone goes on vibrate, and I don't usually do much on the computer for social media at all. I might do my phone for a few Twitter things. If I just started doing in November the word sprints, so that might be the only time I'm actually doing any kind of real social media when I'm actually writing, is when I do word sprints. You might want to check the NaNoWriMo forums, the NaNoWriMo Facebook pages, any of the Twitter, any of those things if that's your thing. Instagram, people are really big on taking pictures and doing things and putting tweets out and stuff like that. YouTube videos, and by all means, please check out all the YouTube videos that are going to be, people are going to be vlogging about it, and it's great. It helps keep you motivated. It's inspiring. It's a really great community to be a part of. It makes me feel really good and less alone, because writing is a kind of solitary thing, and sometimes you can feel really alone in that, and that helps. One other thing you might want to think about are some writing books. I usually keep right on hand Stephen King's On Writing, Stephen King's Secret Windows, No Plot, No Problem, Ready, Set Novel, Save the Cat, Your First Novel, Writing the Paranormal Novel. I have Planning Your Novel by Janice Hardy. I have the Plot Perfect now. There's a lot of books, and I keep them like readily available. I also have Scribner's with a B, handbook for writing, for writers. Mine is really old. I think I got it like in high school or college, a long time ago, and I have kept it. It has to do with grammar and punctuation, just in case I need something. You might also want to think about a fiction book. Like if you're reading something or you're interested in reading and you want to take a break from writing, like right now I am reading Jim Butcher's Ghost Story. It's part of the Dresden Files, and excuse me, this has been slow reading for me. I've ranked every single other book in the Dresden Files series as a 5. This one right now, unless it gets better, and I'm on chapter 14. I'm just starting chapter 14. This one so far is about a 3.5, and I think it's just because of what's going on in the novel. I don't like it, and I know that there are other books So this has got to change because I've read the book jackets for those. My son bought me the beginning of March, the end of February, the latest Dresden File book. But this one I'm just having a hard time. It's a slow read for me, and that's extremely unusual, especially since I'm an avid Dresden File fan. I like the Dresden Files almost as much as I like Supernatural. Although I haven't read any of the Supernatural books, and that needs to change because they're on my wish list on Amazon. I want every single one of the books. I have the DVD sets, and me and my husband have watched Supernatural on Netflix and had Supernatural marathons. I also watched the Dresden Files when it was on Netflix. I really wish they hadn't taken it off. But anyway, for mind candy, for rest and relaxation, to refresh your mind when you take a break away from your actual writing, but you still want to be in a writerly, readerly mode. Now, I can start reading a book. It'll be my reward for, say, doing my word count for the day before or whatever, and before I start writing, or after I've finished writing, or if I can't, like, get my words on the page, then I'll read a chapter if I haven't met my goal. If I've met my goal, I allow myself to read for like an hour or two. It helps me refresh, and I feel a lot better after I read, and it helps my imagination and my creative juices start flowing again, and things just tend to work better. One of the other things you might want to think about is getting plenty of rest, plenty of sleep, finding some form of exercise. I tend to walk. I'm thinking about starting yoga once the doctor clears me on Tuesday. I'm thinking about taking, like, maybe putting it on YouTube, yoga for beginners, and starting that. You might also want to think about like a musical playlist. I do not like lyrical music when I'm writing, except when I'm getting ready to write. Like if I am going to write an action scene and I know I need to get in that mood, I will listen to the playlist for Supernatural. If I'm going to listen to music while I'm actually writing, I tend to put rainy moods on, and then I add in on YouTube Celtic music, fantasy music, Lord of the Rings playlist, classical, Harry Potter, whenever it's more instrumental. I'll add that to rainy moods and listen to that when I'm writing. And the only other thing I could think of that is really important is that you have fun. I mean, Camp NaNoWriMo, since you get to set your own word count goal, you get to do your own thing, whether it's a book, a novel, editing your book, writing a script, poetry, whatever your thing is. You get to choose that. So have fun with it. Enjoy it. This is not quite as serious. For me, it helps keep me in the habit of writing. The more I write, the better I get. It's a writing process thing, and I really enjoy it. And it helps keep me motivated and inspired, because when I have a deadline and I have a goal and I'm working on something and everybody else is doing something similar and we're communicating with each other, either in the NaNoWriMo forums or on Facebook or on YouTube, and I'm watching other people's videos and I'm commenting, I'm listening to them, it keeps me motivated and inspired in a way that writing all by myself every day, 365 days a year for the most part, minus a day or two or three or 10 here or there, it doesn't have the same effect. Now, I know a lot of people joke around and they talk about NaNoWriMo or Camp NaNoWriMo and how the novels that come out of that, people want to have them, send them to agents or whatever publishing places and have them like immediately published. It's okay if your novel is a piece of crap when you first finish Camp or NaNoWriMo, or if you're not finished with it, don't expect it to be a work of art or the next Pulitzer Prize, because it's probably not going to be, and that's okay. You're going to get a lot of great ideas. You're going to get a lot of great pieces of dialogue. You're going to get a lot of great scenes, great character arcs, all of that out of this, and you can transform that into a better piece of writing. into the real thing, because you're going to have to edit. You're really going to have to edit. There's no way around editing. It's not going to be ready at the end of NaNoWriMo or Camp NaNoWriMo to turn into a publishing house or an agent and say, oh, I'm going to be a published author. It's not really what it's about. It's about getting the words onto the page and finishing. It's about getting it out there, getting it done and accomplishing it, feeling good about yourself because you did it. And then you take a break from it, and then you go back and then you edit it, and then you take a break from it and then you go back and you edit it. And you are going to have beta readers and a critique partner or critique group, or you can join a writing group, or you can do some writing workshops, or you can do whatever it is that will help you improve your writing. But to me, any type of NaNoWriMo is a great way to improve my writing, because for camp especially, I don't have to worry about my word count. I can choose a lower word count. I can choose to go lower and have a little bit better quality of words instead of the quantity. And I think this is why I chose to start this novel fresh and not edit a novel, is because I really wanted to worry about quality and to pace myself and to kind of figure out my thing and get my mojo back, because I kind of lost it somewhere. So if you have any questions or any suggestions or whatever, like I said, Camp NaNoWriMo is about a week away, and I'm sorry that this video is so long, but I will have my Camp NaNoWriMo information listed below. I'll have the website for Camp NaNoWriMo along with my blog, which I will be blogging along with vlogging, and I'm not going to edit videos during Camp NaNoWriMo. I am just now really learning how to edit videos, so this is all it. What you see is what you get, and if I say a lot or get distracted or whatever, I apologize ahead of time. I have ADHD and anxiety. This makes me nervous. Vlogging in general. I would have never imagined that I would have been doing this, and I've been doing it now for a good while. So, yeah. But I hope you guys have a great one. And like I said, if you have any questions, post them below. Or you can private message me or whatever. And I really hope you have a good one. Hope to see you at NaNoWriMo. For those of you who are in my cabin, yay! I'm so excited. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm almost finished with my outline. I have the last half of Act 2 and Act 3 to go, and I'm done. So I'll see y'all there.